Okay, I want to talk to you tonight a little bit about gun control and how stupid some of these people really are. First of all, they're talking about banning AR-15s. That's all you hear about is banning AR-15s. But I'll bet you 90% of them that are voting on these laws don't know what an AR-15 is. Alright, an AR-15 is a kit gun. This is what's called a lower. If you notice, it's just a trigger group and a stock. But the funny thing is, this is an AR-15. Notice the stock that slides back and forth? That's an adjustable stock. Here's another one. It's got a little bit different stock. Still, it slides back and forth. But it's all the same. This is a buffer tube in here, and these guns are all different. This particular one right here, this lower, will fit this one right here. It'll fit right on there, and it becomes a 223, and this is what's called the upper. Now you notice that these have a rail here, right here. This is where you can mount accessories. So you think of a AR-15 as a kit that you put together like you want it to. This is the upper right here, and this is the lower. Well, this is 223. If you notice, this is different. It's different here. It's also different here, and it's also different on that one. All of these fit the lower. Alright, if I put this lower on there, and all this is a brass catcher, it's time consuming to put these together. All you do is just slide these in, these two pins right here, and all of a sudden it's assembled, the upper with the lower. I'm going to leave this one loose because all the parts with inside are virtually the same. That's why people like the AR-15. But what is an AR-15? It's nothing but a kit. This is a thermal night sight. That's a scope for hunting during the daytime. This one here, I don't have them on it, but it has flip-up daytime sights on it. This one has another scope. And every one is different. Just think of the different stocks. This stock will fit on here. That stock will fit on here. I like the solid stocks. But since we're talking about that, let's talk about the assault rifle ban. Nancy Pelosi was on TV the other day saying that President Clinton passed the assault rifle ban. Well, you know, that was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Because to be classified as an assault rifle, number one, it had to have a detachable magazine. Anything there was a possible 4 or 5 points, anything 3 points or better became an assault rifle. Well, alright. This is nothing but a plain, ordinary hunting rifle. This has 2 points. The first is a detachable magazine right here. That's 1 point. The next point is right here. It has a flash hider or muzzle brake on it, so that's 2 points right there. The other thing that added, and I don't even have one, is a bayonet lug right here. Now, none of my rifles, well, I may have one in there that has a bayonet lug on it, but anyhow, that was another point. The next point had to do with a pistol grip. Yeah, this one has a pistol grip, that one has a pistol grip, that one has a pistol grip, but any point total of 3 and it became an assault rifle. Now, this rifle, this one when I bought it, would not have been classified as an assault rifle. I had this put on. This was a chopped off barrel right here. It was just plain square. This gun had another point was the adjustable or folding stock. This had a fixed stock. It had a plain barrel, and it had a pistol grip. So the only thing that it would have had was 1 point for the detachable magazine, 1 point for the pistol grip, and that would have been all there was. So it would have made 2 points. It would not have been classified as an assault rifle. AK-47s, they put Monte Carlo stocks on them. I mean, some of this stuff is ridiculous. So, that being said, another thing in the assault rifle ban had to do with any magazines that held over 10 rounds. Well, that's all fine and good, except that also banned this. This is nothing but an old cowboy style .22 rifle under the assault rifle weapons ban. This is banned because it holds more than 10 rounds in the tube right here. So, these people don't know what they're doing. They say, well, we don't need nothing about guns. They belong in the military. This has nothing to do with military. Number one, it's self-defense. I hunt with all of mine. I don't actually carry any of these for self-defense. I hunt with all of them. They all have a purpose. But the funny thing is that when it comes to self-defense, back in World War II, this was a 12-gauge shotgun. And this was the most feared weapon there was. A plain old 12-gauge shotgun. And this one does have the short barrel on it. Most of them I have a lot longer barrels, but you know, common sense as far as this gunship control has to take effect somewhere. Number one, I do support all background checks on gun sales. But that means no private sales between persons. All sales must go through a dealer. There is no such thing as a gun show loophole. There never was. What happens is I show up at the gun show and I'm a private person and I sell to another private person. I don't require to get a check. If you'll look right now, anybody runs a gun for sale on Craigslist, they sell for a lot more than they're worth. Nobody buys them that way simply because one individual says it to another individual and you don't have to have a check. All gun sales should go through a gun dealer. The other thing is that we need to keep these nuts from getting guns. I say that if you're going to violate the Second Amendment, let's violate the First Amendment. First Amendment is that freedom of speech. You know, you're already pretty limited on what you can say, but first of all, let's ban all these games. We have a culture problem. All these games where criminals are fighting the police and stabbing each other and raping women, they need to be banned. We have a culture problem, not a gun problem. So let's ban all those. All of these idiots that are going up here and going to these doctors and getting prescribed mood-altering drugs, the doctor or pharmacist or somebody needs to be entering them in a database where they can't buy guns. Common thing. The other thing is allow law enforcement some sort of say in what becomes of these people. Law enforcement in this area is carrying people in for mental evaluation constantly. And let's face it, if they don't have insurance, they're going out the back door just as fast as they're going in the front door. So mental health is a big deal. But banning an AR-15 is crazy, because what is an AR-15? Is this an AR-15? No. This is actually a SR-762. Is this an AR-15? No, not really. That's really what's called a DPMS Recon. Some people call it an AR-10, but do we throw that in there? This is just a plain old Henry .22 caliber. Do we throw it in? If I put a bayonet lug on this one, it's already got 1, 2 points. Bayonet lug will give it 3. Is this an assault rifle? And look at this one. This one here changes calibers. It goes from 22 caliber to 30 caliber, and it holds a big magazine. But if you'll notice, what have I got in here? I've got a 10-round magazine. I don't like to hunt with these other ones, but I have nothing against the people that want to stick a big long magazine, shoot at cans or whatever. They're just not conducive to hunt with. But this isn't about hunting, people. This is about self-defense, number one, and common sense gun laws. Another thing, if we're going to go ahead, and I keep hearing this, well, we got to give them something. We got to give them something. All right, let's give them something. Let's give them the background checks. Must all go through a dealer. But we're going to make these guns safer. We want to pass the Hearing Protection Act. What is the Hearing Protection Act? All that means is that we quit paying $200 to the government every time we buy a suppressor. And I'm sorry, it's not like the movies. These idiots that think suppressors are absolutely quiet don't know what they're talking about. These things, the bullet cracks when it leaves the barrel. It is nowhere near silent, but you can safely shoot it without earmuffs on. So let's do something that's at least halfway smart. You're going to have to